Well, good morning. After a fantastic week playing golf in Portugal with my family, we played in the Algarve. We played at Quinta do Lago, the North course, which I actually previously played a Pro-Am in with Paul Lawrie, so it was nice to be back. And we also played the Valdelabo courses, Ocean and Royale. So we had 3 incredible games of golf, and it was also really nice to spend time with my brothers and dad. So I got back from there, had a little bit of a sort out, got on top of everything that's been happening at the house because renovations have begun, and we're off again. Today we're going to be heading with Aston Martin to Seville. We're going to be heading to Spain to drive the brand new Aston Martin Vantage, which, as you can imagine, I'm very excited about. And of course, I'll be telling you more about that whilst we're there. But I've just got my suitcase packed. I've put on some comfies. We've got a morning flight this evening over. And I think we're going to be heading to the Nobu Hotel. So let's get going. Well, you may be able to tell by my voice that the hay fever has well and truly started to settle in. However, I just thought I'd quickly show you my fragrance of the day. It's new in, it's by Ferragamo, and it's really light and fresh, a perfect morning fragrance. Something that's not too overpowering, but smells absolutely delicious. So my fragrance is Ferragamo. Say goodbye to my little wifey. Well, we've just arrived to Seville and it is an absolute scorcher. As you can see, blue sky, and we've just checked into the Nobu Hotel. Aston have got quite a presence here at the moment. We're really central, which is really lovely. We'll do a little bit of exploring, I think, for dinner this evening. I've just checked into my room and I have spotted Bob, which is actually what I'm currently using at home. It smells delicious, so very happy to see this. But we've got a shower to the left in here, I think you'll be able to see in, and then we have a toilet to the right, and then lovely wooden parquet flooring and panelled walls, and then this is my bedroom. We'll be home for a couple of nights, and we've got lovely views over that square that I just showed you a second ago. Such a nice day. We've also got a welcome note, which I haven't taken a read of yet, but I'm assuming will give me information about the Vantage and what we're going to be getting up to whilst we are here. And then we also have a lovely little gift bag, which has an Aston Martin cap in, which could come in very handy in this weather. Oh, nice. A nice magazine, V56. So take a flick through that. Oh, I use this a lot at home. I had one of these before, the Aston Martin diary. Very handy. With a pen. What do we have here? Oh, wow. Some in-ear headphones by Bowies and Wilkins times Aston Martin. Very cool. And they look mega. I look forward to giving these a go. So yes, I'm going to get myself unpacked and probably go and do a little bit of exploring. Well, I've just found the rooftop, which is almost aligned with my room. It's absolutely stunning down here. Almost got panoramic views. Look at that very refreshing looking plunge pool. I've checked the temperature. Possibly could go in there, but I'm not sure I fancy it. I've not been out here long enough to warm up. Well, I've freshened up, ready to head down for this evening's welcome dinner. We're going to be eating at the hotel here in Nobu. So I've gone for quite a relaxed, casual look. I've gone for double linen. This is my Portofino white linen shirt by Luca Filoni. I've gone for my normal rings and watch, and then on the belt, I've got the brown Ralph Lauren saddle belt with the Loro Piana City 2 Pinces trousers, and then I've just got some Hermes sandals on. So unfortunately I haven't got a full length mirror to show you, but that's this evening's look. So I'm gonna chuck on some sunglasses and make my way down to meet the rest of the team. There we go, that's better. Out in the hallway.
They didn't put the shirt said he was so.
But he was obviously not able to fly, but I'll send the love. I'll send the love. You see on the Sonia. No, that's what you're really worried about.
Give it a consolation. Once you bring the fans in,
Well, the bells are ringing because it is currently 9 AM. We had a wonderful welcome drinks last night. Possibly stayed up a little bit too late and enjoyed myself a little bit too much. There's a fantastic group of lads, lots of people that I've met before, but lots of people that I've also met for the first time. So it was lovely to connect with everybody ahead of what's set to be a fantastic day on the racetrack in the brand new Vantage. So I'm gonna head down, grab myself a coffee, and I think we're gonna start making our way over. There'll be a briefing, a little bit of information about the car. We're then gonna be going on a drive around Seville, then go back to the track or vice versa and see what that car can do, because of course it is the car for drivers, and it's gonna be my first time driving it. So let's head downstairs, grab a coffee and get stuck into the day. Well, we've arrived. Right, track day.
Why are you here?
Wow, it's a nice setup. First things first, coffee. Wonderful, thank you very much. Nice one. Cheers, bro. Thank you.
Historical.
Oh, look at that touch.
But you can also see some redesigned front cheeks and also some clever packaging of some of the ADAS technology, the adaptive safety technology, which again we'll touch upon when we talk about the interior of the car. Designed for Aston Martin, by Aston Martin.
Yeah, it would be nice when we
Cool. Yeah, unfortunately Mark over a lot taller than you are, so it gets a little bit difficult.
Okay, so we're all set, ready to head out in the brand new Aston Martin Vantage on the track here in Seville. I'm so excited, I cannot tell you. I've wanted to drive this car now for so long, and we're in this most beautiful colour of green. We've got some nice yellow detailing around the lip of the grille and also around the splitter. The car feels amazing to sit in, and as you can probably hear, sounds incredible. So we're going to head out now and get stuck in to this track.
Things that we should.
Slow driver on the track today. We had a good go in the car, and it feels very light, very airy, very easy to manoeuvre around. And I actually didn't keep a track of the speedo to know how fast we were going, but it felt like we got up on the straight, got some decent speeds out of the car, and it was gripping around the corner really nicely. So thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah. My first impressions of the car are very impressed. Okay, we're just about to go for round 2 on the track. This time we're given a little bit more reins and we're just about to be released. Let's go. Woo! Come on. Following our lead driver today. Start feeling a little bit sick, James, because of my terrible driving, just say I can go into the pit lane to drop it off. time for a spotted lunch. The guys are just prepping it in front of us. It smells delicious. We've got the coals burning, the smoke. It smells incredible. Just actually enjoyed a really nice tomato juice as well, which you can see on the table there. We've got the last guys out on the track, as you can see, coming past now. They're just demolished. Lunch was beautiful. Showing you the back end of it, but just trust me.
Oh yeah, do. Actually not into sun.
This is lovely.
The cars are all lined up and we're ready to head out on the road for this afternoon's drive. Ooh. Delicious lunch. So we're going to jump in the cars now and get set. Whilst we're making our way to our next destination, I thought I'd quickly run through some of the interior with you, because we're currently sitting in a beautiful, rich, deep green leather finish with the carbon fibre details. And some of the things that I've noticed that this particular model has is the Bowies & Wilkins sound system, which is an upgraded sound system that you can have in the new Vantage cars. They are absolutely superb. Me and James have been playing some music, but obviously for copyright reasons we won't be doing so during my vlog. The centre console has still kept a lot of that touch functionality in it, which is really enjoyable for the user, because you get to feel some of the functions that we typically use on the regular, such as the volume, the fan speeds, guest shift selector just in the middle here, which has actually got this really lovely leather bound finish on it as well. So everything's finished to a really beautiful standard, exactly what you'd expect from an Aston Martin. And on top of that, we've got the new infotainment system, which has got the touchscreen display. We're currently using CarPlay, which has got Google Maps integrated on it. We're following the route around today, which has just taken us to different destinations where we can stop and enjoy some of the spectacles and some of the wilderness of Seville. So very leisurely drive, just taking it nice and slow. We've had lots of fun on the track this morning when we put the car through its paces. So this is really just about the lifestyle and luxury side of the car, because one thing that I've taken from my previous Vantage and I'm experiencing right now is they've really struck a beautiful balance between performance and comfort. And I think that that's something that's quite rare to find, because often when you're driving high performing cars, they're often steered towards that driving experience and not so much comfort. Aston have managed to really cut through the middle of that and create a really comfortable, enjoyable drive whilst maintaining the performance. So I'm having the time of my life just chilling in here today, so it's really lovely. The aircon is on full. Well, we've stumbled across this beautiful location next to the waterside. I thought it would be a good little opportunity to grab some snaps of the car, and also a chance to show you. So this is the Aston Martin Vantage V8. The car is absolutely phenomenal. It looks like a bullet and it drives almost like one as well. And so I think I mentioned in a previous video when we went to the launch of the car that, or the reveal of the car, that the headlights have obviously had a massive impact on the front end of the vehicle, and you can see that the grille and the bonnet have all been quite drastically changed actually, and it's really given it a much stronger, more powerful stance, very inspired by that DB12 model that we saw last year. So it looks absolutely fantastic. It's been a joy to drive. I thought I'd quickly give you a quick spin around. A little bit dusty because we did do a little bit of track driving earlier, which was good fun, as you saw. Still got that duck's tail, which very nice to see next to the water's edge. There she is. Those green calipers as well, nice touch. The gold alloys. Okay, we're back in the car. The journey continues. We're driving through the wonderful countryside here in Seville. After discovering the lake earlier on, which was absolutely beautiful, we did get a little bit carried away. We spent quite a little bit of time there, and so we're going to miss a couple of the planned stops to ensure that we get back at a reasonable time to the race circuit that we were at this morning. And so that's really what I've come on to update you on, and we're going to be arriving in 15 minutes, so not too late, because this evening we have a wonderful dinner on the rooftop of the Nobu Hotel, and we had a lovely surprise earlier because Ollie Smith
to our start point. The guys are still playing around on the track. Nice and peaceful. So we've got a little simulator in here, get you warmed up ready for the track. And also the design studio, so you can see that you can look at swatches of fabrics to stick up against the paint colour samples, which we've got blacks to purple on the right, and then we've got reds to blues on the left. Nice mat. Yeah, it's looking cool. Bowies and Wilkins speaker. It's another beautiful evening here in Seville. You can see, but you can also hear lots of people singing in the streets. There's lots of dancing here in Spain, I've noticed, which is really lovely. And it's currently a Saturday, so everybody's out having a great time. And I'm just about to go to the rooftop to enjoy some sunset drinks before dinner. Well, I just popped you on the windowsill, but this evening's outfit is a linen two-piece suit from Schuster & Hicks with a Boss cotton silk polo. I've also got some DB eyewear with me because the sun is shining. And on the feet, I've just got my, if I can get my feet up, Velasco Milano woven leather loafers. So I'm gonna head up now and meet the rest of the team and everybody else, and possibly have a little bit of a late evening. We might head into the town and get involved with some of the locals, so we'll see. We'll see how the night goes. I have got to get up for 7:30 AM tomorrow for a flight home, so I shouldn't be too late, that's for sure.
Here and sharing the experience with us, and hopefully sharing Vantage with the world. We've got an incredible dinner tonight planned.
I could not be more thrilled to share my enthusiasm for wine, my delight in being in Spain. I am, I'll be honest, trying to hide behind a massive adrenaline spike from driving the car around the track today. I feel like somebody loaned me the Rock's body and then just fired laser beams into my soul. That's kind of the impression I'm having right now.
Well, dinner this evening's looking lovely. So we're all starters.
Yeah. He had no interest in speaking to his dad.
Wonderful. It's been a pleasure sitting next to
He's been out with his mates.
He's been out with his mates.
He just wanted to listen to his life, you know.
Well, I got back from the Aston Martin trip yesterday, or the day before. I think it was the day before. And this morning, when I was sitting in my office starting to edit some of the content from that trip, I looked out of my window and I noticed a swarm of bees. And I was like, no, you do not. I've been very good to you ladies. I fed you early on in the season and you're taking advantage of me. So I went out to the woodlands and they had actually collected on a tree, probably about 5 to 6 meters away from the hive, so not far at all. And I had a little chat with them and I said, look, don't take the mick, all right? I look after you, I'm good to you, and you're leaving me. So I put them back in a box and I took them back to the hive, and they said, we don't want to go in there because there's another queen in there now and I'm not getting into wars with her. So I found a new box that I had in the shed and I placed it, so we now have 3 colonies at the Millen Gordon household. And I was expecting to open up my original hive and find half the amount of bees, but they actually must have been packed because I'm pretty much still wall to wall a nice amount of bees in the main or the original colony hive. And then I thought, well, perhaps it came from the latest hive, perhaps they've just gone crazy. And I had a look in there and it definitely was from the original hive, because the second hive is also thriving wall to wall, but there was no queen cells in there at all. But in the original hive, 3 queen cells had hatched. There were about another 5 in there. So I'll let the bees do their thing. We might lose 1 or 2 casts over the next couple of days, but it was really nice actually. One of the queens was hatching as I was looking in there. So you could see her chewing her way out of the cell, which was lovely. So I watched that for a little bit, put them back, and they'll be fine. They're doing very well. And I had noticed that both colonies
have just started to wax the frames in the super, which is really exciting stuff, because it might mean that we get a flow this year on both of those hives, which would be great. The new colony, which of course I need to make sure they settle in, have of course got their queen, which will probably be a virgin queen that swarmed from the main hive because she wasn't marked. And that particular bunch, probably about, it was really small, there's maybe like, I'm gonna say 3,000 bees, not a huge amount. So what we'll do is, or what I have done is, I've put them into the new hive and I fed them with some ambrosia, which is kind of like the sugar water mixture that you give bees to help get them kick started. That'll just give them something to use to help draw frames, so then they can go out foraging, fill those with pollen, start laying their brood and building their own colony literally next door to where the other two are. So a very eventful morning, and that is part and parcel of being a beekeeper and also traveling a hell of a lot at the minute. So I don't have anybody that can actually come in and keep an eye on them whilst I'm away. And of course I went to the Caribbean, I then came back and went to Portugal, I then went to Seville with Aston. So it's been a very busy few weeks for me, and the process of bees creating a cell and swarming is within the 3-week period that I haven't been present. So fortunately I managed to catch it, and we haven't lost all of the bees, which is fantastic news, and we're a colony up. So part of the reproduction of bees is swarming, and I think lots of people think when bees swarm it's like the whole colony leaves. It's not. The proportion, maybe possibly 50% at a maximum, will leave with the original queen, and then you'll get a few casts afterwards. And casts are essentially when the original queen leaves, she lays about 8 queen cells in that hive. I guess it's like a safety precaution method, and when those queens hatch, they'll either fight it out and kill one another, or they'll fly off the cast, and the cast will normally have around about 5,000 bees in it. Like I said, there were 3 open cells, so I probably got the last of those 3, which is why there's only a few thousand bees. However, a strong enough colony to get kick-started this early on in the season, and so they'll be absolutely fine. And as always, I'll get them prepped up, ready to overwinter. And I do have to have a little chat with my my main colony, because they are so prolific. Every season they just get so big, and they're in a Langstroth hive, which is an Australian hive, so much bigger than you would traditionally get in the UK. So they've got plenty of space, perhaps that's why. But again, I haven't got much history on the bees that I'm keeping, because I did catch them originally from my neighbour's house. So hey, there is always the possibility that we can requeen them, calm them down, slow them down. But anyway, they're keeping me on my toes, which is what the bees always do. So I'll quickly flip the camera around and you can see what's going on at the moment. So as you can see, the cow parsley is up as well, which is absolutely beautiful. It just looks incredible every year. And have you seen this? There's like a massive bit of metal sticking out this tree. I'm assuming it's what they used to support the trees when they were first growing. I could be completely wrong. It could just be some redundant metal work from the farm that's just somehow managed to lodge itself into the tree, and as the tree's grown, it's lifted it. Wild. But anyway, as you can see in front of us, the hive that has no roof on it, that is the colony that I've caught today. Let's take a little look inside and see if they've found their feed. No, they have not. Not yet. Hopefully they do at some point. You may not notice any difference, but the feeder is now on top of the crown board, which is like the lid. And so there is now no access through the top of the hive. So you can see the bees are still congregating around the top left-hand corner, because just moments ago, that was how they were entering and exiting the hive. And so they'll just have to quickly, which they will do, relearn that the entrance hole is at the bottom now. So what I did was I took the queen excluder that was sitting on the top and I put it on the bottom, so the queen can't actually exit through the bottom of the hive. So that would ensure that she doesn't leave, and there's a lid on the top. So I actually don't need to worry about stuffing it with grass. Also, if I had stuffed it with grass, which is what prompted this
thought initially the bees wouldn't have been able to have got back in, all of the foraging bees, so I'd have had to have come out at night time and done that. The reason why we use grass and stuff hives with grass is because it's normally when you're carrying a swarm from another destination. So you put all of the bees in the box, you put the lid on the box, you stuff it with grass, so you know that you've contained all of the bees that you have inside the hive. But in this instance, of course, the swarm that I collected was local to this area, and so lots of bees were going off and foraging, and I knew that there were lots of bees that were out and about, and I would have had to have waited a very long time for all of the bees to have gone into the location over there. And seeing as it was so close, I moved them earlier on and pulled them over to here after a few hours, knowing that there were probably a few hundred foraging bees or more out and about. There's all sorts going on at the moment. You've got bees fanning at the bottom, bees fanning at the top. It looks like there's some robber bees that have come to check out what's going on from the other colonies that are just being told off and pulled off the frame. I don't know if you can see that in the top left corner. Lots of action going on right now. And there are also some bees that are coming in from foraging, so I'm sure that they'll be getting busy building as soon as they can to make themselves a new home. And so in about 24 to 48 hours time, I'll actually return back and take the queen excluder out. The reason why I'm going to do that is because I need to make sure that I allow for the potential virgin queen that's in here to go out and mate, particularly if we've got good weather. I don't want to reduce or restrict the chances of her getting out there and mating, because it's obviously a very fundamental and important part of the survival of this colony. So all we're doing is we're trying to encourage the bees to stay in this location over a 24 to 48 hour period, and then they'll be left to do as they please. And I think that they'll choose to stay.
Things that we share.